Let's do over unders and then final score. You good with that?
That's it. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right. Okay. So over under. We're going to do Trey Lance edition to start this. We got 4 Trey Lance categories. Over under 200.5 yards passing for Trey Lance week 1.
Under. And no shot at him. I think this is it's a rain game. The Niners defense. I'm trying to think like what is the game plan going into this game? You're expecting your defense to ball out. You're not expecting the Bears to score. You're expecting the rain. You're going to run the ball a lot. I just don't think they need to throw for 200 yards. They might end up, but I feel like the game plan probably might not even call for it. So I'm going to say if everything goes according to plan, they could win this game throwing for like 160 yards or less.
I agree with you. I'm actually taking the under on that as well.
Yeah.
But I think we're both going to be on the same page on this one. Lance over under 39.5 rushing yards.
Over. I think he's going to be a serious runner this year. It didn't really come together for him as a runner last year, but I think that a lot of that was Kyle not really understanding how to not understanding, but like they didn't install it. He was with the backups. It was the whole Trey Lance run game was not something the Niners offense starters worked on last year. Now it's been all offseason. I think he's going to be dangerous on scrambles and in a lot of quarterback designed runs. I think he's going to be getting 8 carries a game and averaging 6 yards a carry. Like, yeah, hell yeah. He's going to score a touchdown on the ground in this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think a lot of that too was just him being hesitant. Like, I think his own hesitancy and not seeing the field as well as he wants to, or not trusting his eyes, I think that led to some of the struggles in the run game. Because when he was decisive, first play against Arizona, he was out of that pocket very quick, no issues. So he certainly has that ability to do it. It's just about being decisive and knowing when to run and when not to run. So I agree with you. I think over 39.5 for sure. Okay. So you said that you think he's going to have a rushing touchdown. Over or under 1.5 total touchdowns for Trey Lance in this game?
I'm going to say over. I think he'll have 2. I don't think he needs to have 2. I think he could probably hand off and let the running backs do the work, but I think he'll have 2. I think Kyle Shanahan wants to build something here with Trey and doesn't want. I think Kyle was real happy to make it seem like, look, Jimmy's doing nothing. I'm doing everything here. I don't think he wants to create that perception with Trey. So if he can like manufacture an opportunity to get Trey like some better numbers like he did with CJ Beathard, I think he will.
Okay. All right. I like it. I agree. I'm going to go over as well. I think Trey Lance is probably going to have about eight or so rushing touchdowns this year. He might get 2 in this game. I just think, much like Cam Newton was early in his career, I really think Trey Lance, the 1 yard line, is going to be unstoppable on the QB powers. Like, I just don't see how you stop that on a regular basis. And so I think he's going to get a lot of rushing touchdowns that way.
It's really hard to run the ball in the red zone because the safeties are closer to the line of scrimmage because they don't have to worry about the deep pass. So it's almost like they have 9 in the box, 10, you know what I mean? So what's the best way to counteract that? Oh, quarterback's running, extra blocker. So absolutely, yes, he's a weapon.
All right. Over or under 0.5 turnovers for Trey Lance?
Over. I think third start, it's fair to expect him to turn the ball over once. He needs to not turn the ball over twice.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I think he turns the ball over once. And it may not even be a pick. It could easily be it's wet. Maybe they're doing some triple option stuff. Just loses the ball on a handoff. They credit him a fumble. I don't know. But yeah, I agree. I think he'll get one for sure. I think early on you're going to see I could see the first 4 weeks he has a turnover a game, and then he starts to really figure it out and starts cleaning up the turnovers a little bit. I could see that from him.
But I mean, I think a lot of it too is not necessarily just him, but him and Kyle figuring out the best way to use Trey. By the end of the time with Jimmy, Kyle figured it out. With Trey, if you're asking him to throw a bunch of throws over the middle, one of those could be high, one of those could be picked. There's no reason to do that when you can just win running. So some of it's if Trey turns the ball over, it'll be interesting. Will it be because someone dropped the ball? Will it be because Kyle called a pass that really shouldn't be on Trey's shot chart at this time? Or will it be because Trey messed up. We'll have to see.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. Let's move to the other side of the ball for the 49ers. Let's look at the defense. Over or under 2.5 sacks for the 49ers defense?
Over. Justin Fields runs into sacks. I like Justin Fields, but he plays in the NFL like it's college. Like he can just run away from everyone. Like, nope. I like the way Trey plays. He steps up in the pocket. I mean, I guess it's what Russell Wilson used to do. Russell Wilson always used to spin out the back, right? And that's great. But
when you take a 15-yard
he also got sacked a lot.
Time, yeah.
Russell Wilson also got sacked a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yes, he's going to get sacked.
Yeah, I think honestly, looking at this, I could have put Bosa's numbers at 2.5 and been like, yeah, I might take the over on that as well.
Yeah.
All right. So we just talked about Trey Lance and how we think he's going to have a turnover. But the key is to have less turnovers than what you're forcing, right? We know that wins football games. So do the 49ers defense force over or under 1.5 turnovers?
Say under. I'm feeling like this is going to be kind of a low-scoring running game in the rain. Okay. And if Justin Fields were throwing a lot, then over. But I don't know how many fumbles they're going to force. So maybe they won't be given the opportunity. That's sort of what I'm looking at here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take the over on this one. I think again, much like Trey Lance, I think Fields is probably good for a turnover himself. We could see a special teams turnover. We could see a running back turn it over as well. Fumbles happen in the rain. Wide receiver could fumble. I think ultimately, this 49ers defense is going to be pretty stingy this year, one way or another. And I think they're going to start this week with at least 2 turnovers. Okay. So one big key for the 49ers down the stretch last year, Grant, was when their defense stopped allowing teams to rush for 90 yards. And that's what allowed them to go on that deep run into the playoffs. It continued into the playoffs. That's how they dominated teams. They were able to run the ball, stop the run. So with that being said, you're playing a mobile quarterback, a team that can run the ball for sure in a rainy game. Over or under 90.5 total rushing yards for this 49ers defense. How much do they give up?
I think over. Last time they played the Bears and Justin Fields, he went for 100 plus himself. And they do a good job against running backs. They do a good job against the zone read. Where the Niners have struggled as a run defense the last few years is against scrambles, in my opinion. I don't know if the stats bear it out, but I think they do. And that's where I think Justin Fields got him last year. So you have this wide 9 defense with big gaps between all the defensive linemen. They're all screaming upfield. And they're not thinking about their rush lanes. And, it's just easy to squirt away and scramble. So as long as they don't they could give up 150 rushing yards and still win this game, frankly. But I think they're going to give up more than 90 yards rushing. I do.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's under. I think that they're going to go under on this one. I think Fields is the wild card. Obviously, anytime you have a quarterback that can rush for 100 himself, that makes it tough. I think they're going to do a good job of containing Fields. And honestly, Fields can probably get 50 and they can still hold this Bears team under 90.5. So I'm going to go under.
All
right. For your Super Bowl champion, San Francisco 49ers, I'm assuming you're taking the victory here, but what is your
I don't do the score on Wednesdays. I don't. Okay. I can't. I got to see what's up with Kittle, but you go ahead. I'm picking the Niners to win, but I can't decide my score yet.
Okay.
But I want you to say.
Okay. So the 49ers, I agree. I think this game is actually going to be closer than what a lot of people think.
Okay.
I think week 1's always tough. The offense usually tends to struggle week 1 for Shanahan offenses. You add in a new quarterback taking over. I think that adds to it. You're on the road. Bears seem like they have an axe to grind with the 49ers. They got this whole Fields against the world deal, which is kind of cute. I'm going to go 24-13 Niners. However, I think it's very close. They score about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter to make it 24-13. It's going to be around 17-13 until a few minutes into the fourth, and then that's it. They, the Bears can't put up enough points, and it looks worse than what it actually was. I think it's a relatively close game up until that point.
I like it. Let's reconvene next week and see who wins the over-under, because I always win this one. Always win.
All right, fair enough.
Paul Newland says, does Trey have better touch on the ball this year, or is he still throwing bullets to the D-line? I would say he does have better touch.
Better
Yes,
touch
last
for
year
sure,
was a
yeah.
little bit surprising the way he threw those short passes. He doesn't do that anymore.
You're already seeing it with those little
Yeah.
dump offs right over the defensive
Yeah.
lineman. He didn't have that in his game last year.
Kelly says Kyle had Debo versus Rams, and what happened in the fourth quarter? Well, what happened in the playoffs in general is that the Niners run game got shut down, 3.7 yards per carry. This should never happen. Too much talent on that team to be running for 3.7 yards per carry. It would never happen with Trey as a quarterback. And again, that's why I feel like he should have been the quarterback last year.
Yep.
Football and Crab Cake says, I think Kittle goes to the Giants with Jimmy U. Maybe he should. Maybe he should. I don't know, man. I want to see what's up with Kittle, dude. Like, what's up? What is up? You better play this weekend. Pure Bama TV says starting to believe Debo did not want chemistry with Lance. I don't know, man. Debo's at practice this week. Debo's there. Kittle's got an injury. I'm wondering about Kittle. I'm not saying he's not injured, but Debo's there right now. So I'm not worried about Debo.
Yeah, I mean, Lance has made, this will be his third start, and 2 of them may be without Kittle, right? And not that Kittle's doing it on purpose, but that sucks for sure.
I'm not saying he's doing it on purpose. All I'm saying is, I mean, if you're going to question anyone, it can't be Debo. He's freaking there now. Josh Wyatt says, Grant, the best at this. Oh, thank you very much. I don't believe you believe that prediction, but the way the team is built, it should be the prediction. Way to stir the pot. Well, I do believe it, but it also should be the prediction. I think it's kind of funny that people are afraid to say it. Like, this team should be better than last year. They upgraded quarterback. Hopefully Mike McGlinchey doesn't ruin everything because, that would just be a shame.
For me, the only reason I won't do it is the quarterback was last year's problem, and every year presents new problems.
It's true.
This year, the quarterback may not be the issue. They may not win, but that could be for different reasons. It's a different team with a different schedule. Different things happen. And so last year's problem was the quarterback. That doesn't mean that's this year's problem.
That's true. And everyone's picking Philly this year out of the NFC. I think the Niners are better than Philly, but Philly has an easier schedule. Philly has an easier division. Philly probably will have a better record, maybe a better seeding. So I can see that. But I still think the Niners are better than them. I mean, they have a way better defense than Philly.
Yeah, they do.
Jeff Wilson and Debo will play big in a title game. I love Jeff Wilson. Big fan.
Yeah, he's good. He's very good.
I got Niners winning 34-14, says Chris.
Oh, dang. I just don't see him putting up that many points. I like the optimism, though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like a ground and pound, ugly kind of like a 17-7. I haven't really, I mean, that's a 19-7 kind of a game, 19-9. Those fun ones, where there's like 2 or 3 touchdowns the whole game, that kind of thing.
Love those styles.
They're so much fun.